A bunch of blowhards? Do they even teach?
Teach history, not your opinion.
Why don't you ever answer the phone?
Don't you guys just do podcasts?
You guys never want to do anything.
You never asked me to guest teach. Do you think I know more than you?
Whoa. I know what you're thinking, right? But we actually do great things in the social science department. We make the world relevant. We analyze information. We make connections. You know what? Don't take my word for it. Let it just show you.
Is this open sentence? All right. Thanks a lot, Mr.
Oh, you're
Shu.
welcome, Grant. Yeah.
All right. You have a good day.
You too, Grant. At the history department, we're all about connections over content. Throughout the entire year, we really stress connections. We feel like once you make those good connections with students, like it makes the content so much better. The only negative is if they're a Yankee fan, like then I feel there's no connection at all. And there's an old Fenway saying, you root for all 29 teams when they play the evil Empire Yankees.
So one strategy I use is a close reading strategy for history students. I use the name of my pet American mini pig to help students remember what to do when going through documents. We go through documents, closely reading to try to get key and important details from these documents so they can be successful in their assessments. Remember, no pigs were harmed or castrated in the making of this video.
What we also do in the social science department is teach about the Constitution. In this case, specifically, the Bill of Rights. Because the worst thing you want kids to do is to run out like adults in the real world and say, I know my rights. And they don't. Like, for example, people running around and say, I have free speech. I could say whatever I want. It's kind of not true, because there are limitations. First limitation, you cannot lie, slander, libel, right? Second one, whatever you say or do cannot lead to violence. And third, it cannot violate anything you do, violate local obscenity. So a lot of this has everything to do with how our school dress code works, but in a nutshell, that's how it works. So for example, with the obscenity thing, can't walk around butt naked, but if you're in a Kumba, the nudist colony, you can.
We write, we research, we use tech, but then sometimes we just gotta put pen to paper, go old school again, give me a real product within a time limit, set them up to succeed, simply make sure that they're actually doing their own authentic work.
So in my classes, I like to utilize political cartoons. I find that it helps students engage with the content, and it also gives a little extra context and visualization for more abstract concepts.
Another best practice that we have in our department is we make learning relevant to our students. One way that I do that in my Mexican American history class is by having my students put together an altar for Dia de los Muertos. I teach my students all about the symbolism and the components that go into creating an altar, and the personal connection for them is that they get to honor their own loved ones on these altares.
Right. So here in the social studies department, we make a strong effort to teach students to do research and, more importantly, to find reliable and credible sources. It's important that They learn how to filter through the misinformation in order to find information that is credible that we could use in class. Along with that, we try to teach them about current events, whether it be local or events from around the world, and hopefully build an innate desire to learn so that they're aware of what's going on around the world.
Hi, I teach economics and American government. One of the tools that the social science department uses is an unbiased source, CNN 10. It makes things relevant. Students become engaged. They can apply their knowledge to current events. Unlike listening to flat earth theories and fake moon landings. Thank you.
Okay, so one of the things I like to incorporate is art and poetry throughout different projects, and the I Am poem is an example I use often. The poem is meant to emphasize historical attitudes, opinions, perspectives about any specific person, group of people, or even long-living things that highlight that historical era.
Here in the social science department, we make history relevant. During the second semester of ethnic studies, we focus on the cultural histories of the United States, taking a local history approach. Last year, we surveyed all ethnic studies students and found that 68% of students had little to zero knowledge of the history of the Imperial Valley and the various ethnic groups that make up our community. So to address this, we take a mix of primary and secondary sources to learn a little bit about the ethnic communities that make up our surroundings and allow the students to learn a little bit more about their community. In the social studies department, we also use 21st century technology. So what we do in this unit is learn the importance of oral history as a storytelling collection method and a preservation of cultural history. So we look at a variety of sources, including oral history projects, photo essays. We have guest speakers from the Quetzal Tribal Council, and even take a field trip to the Desert Museum to learn about our indigenous culture. To bring it all together, students create and produce an original podcast in which they interview a community member here in an effort to preserve their own stories and reclaim their narratives. So shout out to all you teachers who participated last year. And I guess we do podcast here.